Hey peeps, it's Angela, and today I want to show you how I made this beautiful barrette using rhinestone nirvanas from tinypandora.com. I hope you're already subscribed to our YouTube channel, but if you're not, head on over and hit that button. You don't want to miss the fun things we do. Starting with a double layer of polymer clay on my thickest setting, I'm going to use a cane bender as a roller and compress it to make sure that I get all of the air pockets out of it. And then I'm going to take my cutter and I'm just going to lightly impress the shape up on the clay so it gives me a guideline to work within. I'm going to take my time and place the rhinestones where I want them and look at it from all different angles to make sure that they are exactly where I want them to be. Once I have my rhinestones placed exactly where I want them, I'm going to press them as deeply as I can into the clay. I don't want to push them all the way through, but I want to push them almost all the way through. The goal is to have enough clay come up the side of the rhinestone that you're able to easily pull the lip of the clay over the edge of the rhinestone, and that creates the mechanical bond that holds the rhinestone in place. So just nudging the clay a little bit up against the rhinestone to give it a little bit more of an overlap. Then I'm going to lightly burnish the clay with a sheet of paper just to, one, give it a nice texture, and two, level out the surface. Now I'm going to carefully place my cutter and I'm going to look at it from all angles to make sure that it is truly centered. And then I'm going to press it all the way through and then peel the clay away from the cutter. My clay was very warm, so it stuck a little bit in the cutter. I'm just going to use a tool pressing gently on the rhinestones, not the polymer clay, and it will just give, and it came loose very easily. Now I'm going to move it to a ceramic tile and burnish it again with a piece of paper because I want a very smooth surface to work on laying the rhinestones. I'm going to start at the narrow end of the teardrop, and then I'm going to bring the chain up and around the stone, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. And then I've cut segments of 3 stones from the chain, a couple of those, and I'm going to use them as a bridge in the middle of the bow. Make any adjustments that I need to here, and then I'm going to burnish the clay once again, this time focusing on pressing the rhinestone chain into the polymer clay. And now I'm going to remove the chain, and after I've cured the piece, I will glue it back into place. Now I'm going to use my blade and lift it off of the surface after I give it one more burnish to make sure that I got any fingerprints off of it. The chain was impressed a little bit hard, so I don't have to worry about burnishing away that complete path. I'm just going to use my blade and lift it off, and then I'm going to set it onto the side of a jar that has the same curvature as the barrette that I'm putting it onto. If you don't have a jar that completely matches your barrette, you can use any jar and then backfill the barrette with a little bit extra polymer clay to fill in the curvature that way. Using Bacon Bond, I'm going to apply raw clay to the base of my barrette, completely wrapping it and encasing it, with the exception of the mechanism. Once I have that smoothed, I'm going to texture it with a sponge, and then I'm going to cure it. After both the heart and the barrette base have cooled, I'm going to coat the back of the heart with Bacon Bond or liquid clay, and then apply the cured barrette to the back of the base, using a little bit of raw clay between the two if needed to bridge the curvature. Once I have that centered and in place, I'm going to apply a cover to the back of the piece, and I'm going to smooth that out, trim off any rough edges, and then texture it. Then the entire piece will go back in the oven to cure for the final time. Once your piece is cooled, glue that rhinestone Nirvana bling chain into place. I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial, peeps. I did want to show you one other one that I did in my test phase, just to give you another idea of how to use them. Thank you so much for watching the tutorial. Bye, peeps.